everything that you see, everything that comes into your eyes, you absorb, whether good or bad. You run into certain people, every single person has a energetic frequency, every person has a vibration. So it's very important to curate your surroundings so you don't end up absorbing things that you're not supposed to. Because what you see, especially during your like developmental years, it ends up being recorded in your psyche. So, and then how do I explain this? So for example, if you say this in simplest terms, like if you grew up in violent situations, you're probably going to end up becoming violent. So if you grew up in abusive upbringing, and the craziest thing is, like, this shit's all subconscious. Like, I subconsciously was recreating my childhood in adulthood, but yet consciously I was frustrated, like, why is shit not going the way it is? Until it wasn't one specific thing, but like I'm just realizing now, it's because I don't really know any different. And the weird part is, like, I don't think, because when people become like traumatized, like unless they started as like young kid, like pre-5, 10, then that inner child, if you lose it really early, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I believe, because there was nothing to compare right now to pre-traumatized, that time that the trauma happened. So in my case, I think it was around really like, around maybe like 13, actually 14, ninth grade, yeah. It was mostly, oh no, actually it was sophomore year, the semester, second semester, or pretty much the beginning of second semester, which is like January, whatnot. You know, just, that was like the main breaking point where I remember consciously making the decision to just give up and just be stuck in like a dissociative mode, where if you heard of maladaptive daydreaming, it's like kind of where you're literally living in your head, and I've been stuck in there for literally, like, I hate to use the word literally so much, but I've been stuck there for like, let's say 14, like, dude, 10, 12 years, bro. Like, I went through a whole drug addiction phase, and it was my subconscious that was driving me to the drugs for whatever reason. Not obviously, but it's to mask the pain and shit. But I don't know where this had to do at the beginning. Yeah, I went on a just tangent, but so what you absorb or what you see, you end up absorbing. So let's say you grew up around poverty, you grew up in a house that wasn't messy, or that was messy, then that becomes your norm. And in order to change that, well, going back to the whole inner child thing, I remember myself pre-trauma, like that whole thing with the whole inner child thing. Like, I clearly remember as a kid, dude, I was very confident. I trusted myself. I wasn't hypervigilant. Hypervigilant where like now it's like, for a while, every environment I was in, dude, I was literally in a state of scanning, just fucking responding to things. And like, on a spiritual level, that's operating in fear and shame. Oh yeah, also if you dealt with a lot of trauma, like, you have a lot of shame and whatnot. But I lost it again. So that's operating from fear. And fear and shame, if you're in a state of fear and shame, you're pretty much in a dark place, man. As someone who's been in that state for so long, bro, but yeah, it's like what you see becomes your reality. So me, I grew up avoidant household, and this comes from somebody who's not really avoidant. So pre-inner child, like going back to what I said, pre-inner child, I'd say I was extremely confident. I loved myself. I had a very healthy self-esteem. I could be a little bit annoying, a little bit like in your face. I don't know how to explain it, but like a little bit too much. But yeah, and then that shit was gone, dude. I remember in freaking junior year, senior year, I was just thinking to myself, like, dude, what happened to the old man? Like seriously, because it was like it's like death by 1,000 cuts, where it's like it's not one blow that kills you, but it's just a bunch of little ones. That's how it is when you grew up in like a relationship or situation where it's abusive. Like it's unless they beat the fuck out of you, go to the hospital, and then yeah, it's one blow. But it's just usually like a bunch of little cuts to the point where you just bleed out. So, and I'm telling you right now, like it just feels like I woke up from a dream, bro. If you're the truth teller, scapegoat role, all that shit, like, you know what I'm talking about, bro. And so this is, I guess, is this too close to my face? I don't know, this video might be pretty ugly, but dude, for the longest, bro, I was trapped in fear, bro. Fear of being judged, fear of what people will say, fear of like somebody literally coming to visit, because like it's like my essence, my spirit was just mashed down like with the whack-a-mole, like literally like that. Anytime it comes up, so now when that authentic inner child in me comes up, I end up whack-a-moling that shit because of what happened growing up. So, and the thing is, like, it's very easy to understand this logically, but it's just like, man, I don't know why. I really don't know why this happened to me. Why, like, I just had to go through all this, and I'm not trying to get like any like, oh, boo-hoo, this and that, but I'm just saying, like, it's like I could play again, like I could just have fun. I could I'm gonna try to like come around again and get on another tangent, but I'm telling you, man, living in fear is like, and shame, like, but yeah, honestly, with really enough force, you can really bend reality to your will. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how I feel.